In part 1 of this essay, I mentioned a quote from Hunter S. Thompson who said, "No one has to do something he doesn't want to do for the rest of his life. But then again, if that's what you wind up doing, by all means convince yourself that you had to do it. You'll have lots of company." It brings up an interesting question about what we have to do. We have to pay for our lives, like I told that manager at the car dealership. The more you learn about the macro picture, the more you see how we're all driven by economic incentive. You can't unsee it. We're pawns in that game, among others. The economic incentive is to work for a corporation and shop at Walmart. No shade, a job is a job. That's just the system we live inside. But that reality just presents a set of problems to be solved. And we're nothing if not problem solvers, us humans. Maybe we can pay each other for our lives. I think that's how it used to be done. Here's what I think. I think we're all talking to AI more than we talk to each other now. And we've been on that trajectory most likely since we first Googled something. That was a turning point, the moment when the trustworthy person with more life experience or more education or whatever, the person in our own real-life environment who could help pass down the concepts and experiences and ideas that shaped a collective and local worldview, was cut out of the picture. When our connection to that person who filled that role was severed, we stopped co-creating with them and started co-creating only with the internet, which was at all times destined to be what it became, a marketing arm of the corporation and a propaganda machine of the state. By proxy, we started co-creating only with corporations and nation-states with whom our relationship was and always would be power and servitude, not creativity and regeneration. That's probably when our creativity as a human family began to die. Let's make sure we keep it alive. I recently went down a genealogy rabbit hole. Surprisingly, it only took an hour or so to find out what took my dad a whole summer during his retirement to find. He went searching on his dad's side of the family at the courthouse in the county seat of our rural county. He sat in rooms with heavy plank floors and flipped through ancient deed books. I went looking on his mom's side of the family and really just clicked on names that instantly took me to other names all the way back to 1515. What hit me, seeing all the brothers and sisters and children and mothers and marriages, was that I'm quite literally related to almost everyone in the county where I grew up. We're all the same family, essentially. It's an obvious, undeniable fact now that all those birth and marriage records have been digitized. Maybe we need to live like family again. I've had the striking awareness recently that small, consistent actions outside of the realm of algorithms and AI, even in this relatively absurd world, can create significant changes in real life. You cover a big distance without realizing it. Small hinges do, in fact, swing big doors, as they say. Seeds still grow. That said, I've been talking to AI entirely too much lately. I'm making a commitment to talk more to real people, online and off. The woman, Sabrina, who cut my hair yesterday, was a great conversationalist. I admire her. She talked about upcoming Easter plans with her family and her 3-year-old nephew, and how she bought a fixer-upper house and her husband is fixing it up. She talked about his anxiety at getting everything right, and we quickly discovered we had one perfect thing in common when we confessed how both of us wanted to buy a boat. I was paying to sit there, of course, but that's okay. It's a real investment in a real family, actually. That's satisfying. I didn't go to Great Clips for the convenience like I sometimes do. I made the appointment, I waited, which sucks, and I planned it into my schedule. There's more to life than convenience. I have to remind myself of that as often as I can. Jack London wrote, "Don't loaf and invite inspiration. Light out after it with a club." I can give up some convenience. I can light out after what I wish for with a club, the work, the community. So here's what I'm trying to say. What we need to do is ask each other the pressing questions. Sit in each other's salons and coffee shops, not the chain ones. Maybe even sit at the courthouse and flip through the old books which hold the actual signatures of our ancestors. Someday that kind of ink will hold magic. Maybe it already does. I like to watch the old black and white movies from when the internet didn't exist, when people had to do everything differently. I love how they write with ink and sit around tables together. I like to read the old books. Maybe those old films and books are just messages in a bottle from our ancestors who knew we would need them later. I'm full of maybes lately. That's okay. They're just hypotheses waiting to be proven with further inspection or some set of small, consistent actions. Maybe we should be paying each other for our lives. Maybe money is just air, like we've been suspecting. And maybe we can breathe into all the things we love after all so that they won't ever die.